So we have today Bitcoin another flattish type day. Today the S&P is rallying to the upside. Not a huge move, but we are seeing some gains in the equity markets. Again, almost no impact, if in fact no impact on Bitcoin. So number one, it's just telling us that Bitcoin continues to be sidelined by this epic resistance that it's hammering into this 28,500. What's going to be really interesting to me is that the stock market is closed tomorrow in observance of Good Friday, and then obviously it's the Easter weekend. Does the light volume that allows crypto, obviously crypto will trade all over the weekend, right, 24/7, does that then give the opportunity for Bitcoin bulls to try to pump it with the lighter volume there? And again, I don't know the answer to that, but if there's one possible ability for Bitcoin to break above this level, it certainly seems like it's going to have to be on light volume here. So again, just something to go over. Remember, a couple days ago or about a day ago, I said in the next 3 days we're going to know, and that rate basically covers into this weekend. I personally do think that if we have not seen a breakout on Bitcoin by early next week, I think the path of least resistance takes over. Path of least resistance means in this case the downside, right? Think about how many times we've hit the upside on Bitcoin here on this level, and we still haven't broken. So yeah, it still has the possibility, right? I mean, obviously it's still hanging out here. The light volume of the holiday weekend maybe be influential, but if it doesn't get its mojo going here, if we don't get that pop, then you got to think that, again, that downside could be in store. All right, so again, that's something that I'm keeping an eye on. Again, I'm still in the camp, and I know people are probably, those of you that have been members for a long time have heard this forever, but those of you that are new, as of now, the chart has not given me the probabilities that the low is in, nor is the bear market over. Now, again, what would change that view? Well, if we get above this area here and we establish ourselves. So basically, this higher level is 30,500. And again, if we got up here, let's say, and we just went sideways for 7 days or so for a decent amount of time, then I think at that stage you say, okay, now this shows us that we're consolidating above a major psychological level. Now this, again, should tell us the lows have been put in down here. Okay? Now, again, just a reminder, a lot of newbies out there, kind of mental sides that get caught up in the emotion of things. But if you look at this rally in Bitcoin, it's a great rally. But again, if you look at the bigger move here, it still is not a huge move comparable to 69,000 where we were. Right? And again, I think it's important to go back in history too. Like, let's go back to the 2017 bull market. So the question is, are we up here, or are we up here? I mean, where are we in this cycle if this is comparable? But then also keep in mind, we had some big pullbacks, and we even retested the double bottom low. Now, that was during quantitative easing, right? That was during a period where we were watching the Fed print money, push rates down. COVID occurred. We know that that was the most printing of money we have ever seen in history. The question is, if we're, let's say, in this period, I mean, is this what we're in right now, this sideways consolidation period, where does that compare if the Fed's not printing money now? And do we see downside move, but does it then take out the lows? And that's my fear for Bitcoin. As much as I love it on the longer period trajectory, you just have to continue to say, okay, there's no Fed stimulus. There's no government stimulus right now. Where ultimately will it go? Now, it does, and it is maturing. There's no doubt about it. We are seeing it mature. So again, that would be something to monitor here. But again, yeah, I think overall we have to just be fully aware of Bitcoin and the cycle and the past cycles, but also take into account that the Fed's not printing money any longer. All right, guys, now let's flip over to the Ethereum chart. Now, remember, I pulled the trigger on sending out that additional signal to short or add to the short on Ethereum just a couple days ago, or just yesterday. I think it was the previous night or whatever it may be. And again, the idea is that at this point it had pushed above this channel, but it had gotten basically equidistant between this pivot and this trend line. And the idea is add here and then add again here to kind of bring that average up on the short signal for Ethereum. And sure enough, look at this beautiful move down today. Nice little pullback, trading at $1,868. Again, the first thing we have to watch is, do we break back below this blue trend line? If we do and we close below, we then need to see it confirm. If it confirms, then Ethereum really starts to take a dump out where we can make some very good money. But again, we were able to bring our average up beautifully. I basically timed it with a $200 difference in entry price on the short side, where again, we shorted at 17.15 and then 19.15, bringing our average to 18.15 right there. So I thought that was pretty solid in terms of an entry, and so far that's good. Now again, please understand, we don't have a full position yet. All right, so it could push up one more time, touch this $2,000 level, this pivot high here, at which point that would be your next add on that. And even that, honestly, wouldn't be a full position. I would say of my portfolio, I'd be willing to go up to about 10% short on Ethereum. If I add one more time, that would only be up to 6%. Currently have 4. I would probably do another 2% at that point in time. All right, so again, we'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. Now, let's again keep an eye on alts. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano beginning to roll over a little bit. That's okay. That's what you kind of expect. You have this trend line down here, which again, we probably retrace into this level around 35, 36 cents. The question then becomes, does it hold? And again, that'll be something I watch very, very closely there. Okay, let me see what else we have here on the radar as we go through. Let's look at Matic. Matic, again, small down move today. Matic actually could be putting in a little bit of a bearish pattern of consolidation. What I'm seeing here is basically this, right? So you're looking, see this down move, and now you're starting to consolidate. Now, it still has to break through this area of support here, but if it does, then you go here and then here on Matic, all right? So again, something to keep in mind on that chart. Next up, Solana. Let's see what we got on that. Solana bear flagging now too, and this is getting more interesting, folks. So again, these initially were not as bearish patterns, but they are maturing, and that's one of the things to keep in mind is that patterns mature. And in this case, again, we have a down move here, and then this is a very nice little bearish pattern, which again, this would be your downside target 1. And then actually this would be kind of target number 2 down here. So let's watch to see, do we see a sell-off here to this first target around $19.15? That'll be the first thing that I keep an eye on. In addition, on the upside, we have this trend line. Let me extend it out. That'll be something I keep a close eye on as well. I can even extend this out as well right there. Okay? All right, so that's what we have on that. Let's look at Avalanche. Avalanche, again, continues to be a little bit flat today, a little bit of an uptick the last couple days. This was more of a bullish pattern. Look at the reverse of what we just looked at. Sideways chop, and then it starts to break up. So you had this green candle, and that's the biggest candle. That's the biggest move in recent history. You also have this one as well, so you could even connect it and make this one big move, and this is consolidation off of it. Either way, you began to move up. But again, it's been a weak move. I mean, look at that. It's not like it's rip-roaring to the upside. It's been kind of inching up just a little bit. That type of move doesn't get me very excited, frankly. It just does not. So, again, something just to keep an eye on. I will continue to monitor it myself, but as of now, I'm not super excited about a buy here, nor a short. This would be what I would refer to as a no-touch. No-touches essentially are ones you just keep an eye on, but there's no action at this time. And in all fairness, I would say 99% of all charts are going to be no touches. That's how a disciplined trader is. All right. Not a whole lot else I want to really go through. We went through a bunch of these yesterday. We can look at Polkadot real quick here and just see if there's anything going on there. The answer is nope, not really. Again, you broke above this little trend line. Now you're starting to curl over. This would be your target retrace to this line right down here if we were to see a sell. But the one thing I will say here is that more and more I'm starting to see bearish signals in crypto. All right, Bitcoin not so much. It's just sideways chop, but again, it has a timer on it. But it's more so these other things that are now showing the alts are actually starting to look a little bit weaker here than they have in recent days. And so to me, that's something that is kind of a little bit of a small change in what I've seen recently, all right? So again, just something to keep an eye on in that respect, all right? Other than that, I don't think I have much else for you guys. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. Again, if I see a trade, I put it out. It's just that simple, but I'm not going to get us in trades just to get us in trades. I can guarantee that's how we lose money. So again, probabilities, when it shows a strong probability of a move, I'll jump in, let you guys know. You guys take care.